Hey folks, my sister and I were cleaning out my mom's attic and I came across a box of my old junk. First thing is old Soldier of Fortune magazines dating back to the early 80s. Everyone likes to kind of chuckle and make a joke about Soldier of Fortune, but they really carry a lot of news that is not spoken on in the corporate media world. So that was pretty interesting to find those. But the real find that I wanted to share with you is I came across a bunch of my old Survivalist magazines, also from late 70s to mid 80s. These were Survival Weapons and Tactics, Survival Guide, I covered in last on that one, Survival Guide, Weapons and Tactics. So I've got two of them in there. Very interesting to compare the then and now. The first thing on the premiere issue of Survive magazine, fall 1981, cost $2.50. It's interesting to compare then till now. There's a lot more emphasis on mutually assured destruction type total thermonuclear war. And the equipment was bigger and clunkier. They have some laser sights and night lights for long guns that are so huge and clunky. Interesting cartoon there. The guy says Survivalist, and the other guy's got all his gear on, and he says no, realist. The movement, which I like to call a self-sufficiency movement, has come quite a long way over time, and survivalists got a bad rap. If you remember, there was a movie, I think it was called The Survivalist or Survivors or something like that, with Robin Williams, and it was actually a pretty funny movie. But it was a guy who decided to go out and get a cabin in the woods and such. Civil Defense, America's Ugly Duckling. It talks about the civil defense system from back in the day. Here's a guy that was building Terrain Arc 1, Utah's Earth Shelters, which I'll have to look that up and see if they ever actually built it and if it survives today. These are condos, cost $47,900 for a single unit of 12 foot by 30 foot, which is 300 square feet. Twice that for a double unit. And it was planned to be all underground. Wonder if they ever built that. And it had stories of surviving. This guy that survived a bad storm in a sailboat, etc. and so on. Not too different from today, except with the emphasis of the nuclear war, I believe. Here's another one. Full auto, is it effective? Muzzle brakes, do they work? Special weapons showdown, 308 versus 45 versus 223 and 9mm. Medical, tools of survival, urban street survival. And win an FNFAL, details on page 49. Good contest there. FNFAL is a good rifle and is still on my wish list. HK-91, the fighting shotgun. Urban street survival with myths. One popular misconception is that sticking your finger in the bore of a pistol will merely cause the gun to blow apart without any injury to you. So this is handgun takeaways, which really are effective. Understand, when you do a handgun takeaway, and I'll do a video on this, you've got to be all in 100% and know that your life is at risk. But you've already decided that he's going to kill you anyway. Look at this. I tore out this section, and I entered that contest back in June of '82. I didn't win the rifle. Springfield Armory BM-59. Let's see. Return of the Rifleman's Rifle. Springfield's M1 Garand. Keeping your guns working. The Essential Parts Kit. Which caliber is best? The lowdown on ballistics. Red Alert, California Gun Sting. Medical, Field Wound Care. Win a combat pistol package. Wonder if I entered that contest. A hard look at the police service handgun. They're showing basically 38s versus 45s. This is a good article. It needs to be rehashed. Is spare parts kits for survival weaponry. M1 Garand. Survival Guide. August 1982. It cost me $2. Of course, at the time I was making $3.35 an hour, so. Future Metal Shock. Should you bank on lead or gold? Urban Survival. Safety for city dwellers. And win this combat shotgun. I don't think I entered that one. This is interesting. Now you can meet all the people and see all the products in one place and at one time. September 23rd through the 25th, 1982, Bartle Exposition Center in Kansas City, Missouri, the Self-Reliance and Survival Expo 82. Good article here about caching ammo and PVC. Wet tests. Will it shoot? What happens when your ammo stash gets soaked and stays that way? And then break it down. Survival self-test. I think I got 100 on this. Wilderness diseases. Charter Arms Explorer S2. It's a 22 long rifle pistol based on that Charter Arms Explorer, which is now the Henry Survival Rifle. Colt Combat Commander. Fish farming. Urban survival planning. This is actually interesting here. Is they've got a whole bunch of improvised weaponry, which, you know, if you live up in the Northeast where you can't have firearms, some options there. It's a PR-24, a baseball bat, something that looks like Neptune's trident, and a fixed blade knife lashed to a pole. Poison ivy. Identify and avoid. Hands-on Magnus. Training Center for Super Security, Safety, Self-Defense, and Submachine Gun Shooters. actually interesting because here he's doing some drills involving a vehicle and shooting around a vehicle, moving. Pretty advanced for the time. Holy jeez, this guy is shooting an M3 grease gun. And a Thompson, Uzi, and an M3 grease gun. Survival Guide, February of '82, $1.95 for a magazine. The H&K system, it's impressive. Gardening without soil, marksmanship techniques, children and survival. This is the magazine for the concerned citizen. Oh, you can win an M1 Garand. Conditioning for survival, good topic. Survival dentistry, good topic. And they've got the Dr. Dent Aid kit in here, which was a seller for a long time. I don't know if it's still on the market. I had a horrible toothache in Iraq when I was at a very remote location, and I had that horrible toothache for 3 months with no treatment. And man, let me tell you, so you don't want to neglect some dental first aid. And that book that I have on my shelf, which is it's sort of the companion to Where There Is No Doctor, it's Where There Is No Dentist. I highly recommend it because, folks, you do not want to go through that. Practical rifle shooting. This is pretty good stuff. Still useful. I can reread these and get something out of it still. The technology has advanced quite a bit, but they're really talking about some sound principles in here. Hydroponic gardening. Urban Survival, East LA style. Cave Woman. Article about a woman spelunker. Win this brand new Springfield Armory M1 Garand. Nice. This guy hunting boar with H&K 91. Another good rifle. Marksmanship techniques. Making dehydrators and smokers. Weapons of the future. Huh. I haven't read that one. Okay, we've got bacteriological warfare. Hand-carried laser with power pack. I think I've got one of those in my shed. Nuclear bullet from a rifle. Really cool. An ion cannon. I think we're still working on that one. A mass accelerator. A mazer. And a laser tank. Children in survival situations. Interesting psychological aspect. Survival savvy, rifle accuracy. Firearms training. Marksmanship techniques continued. Oh. Looks like I did enter the contest for that M1 Garand. Didn't win that one either. Can't blame a guy for trying. Survival Guide, January of '84. I was already in the Marine Corps when this was put out. Ice safety, be winter wary. tracking, reading trail sign. Map and compass, still a very important skill overlooked by everyone. Heck, most people I know can't even read a road atlas anymore, let alone navigate with a compass. Now, do you count on that GPS to stay on after a national or international emergency? Could it be possible that those satellites would be hacked or whatever? Oh my, Nighthawk 9mm carbine. Chick in a bikini there. Canto cold steel. Okay, this is article talking about basically EDC pocket type survival kits. Ice safety. Specialty knives. Breakdown guns. Kind of cool. The ads, the big ads. This one's from Wilkerson Firearms Corporation in Westminster, California. Rabies. Long Linda. This conversion kit makes a short carbine out of a slip pistol. New M6 Scout. Those are still around, I believe. Survival rifle. Article on tracking. Looks pretty cool. Lots of advertisements, of course. Katydin pocket filter. Laddie 22 automatic. Doom at the top, flaming high-rise hell. Backyard pharmacy, plants and herbs for aches and pains. Survival organizations, getting it together right. Interesting. Steel trap survival. Galil. Knife fighting nonsense. Survival organization. Recommended organizational structure for survival group. Stage 1, the organizing committee, and Stage 2, the developed group. Not bad. A board game called Survive. Stove retreating. Without knowing the enemy, there's no sound method for planning either offense or defense. Backyard pharmacy. H&K giveaway. Survival self-test again, which these are pretty cool. Surviving high-rise fires. Expo 82. Mitchell 44 Magnum, single action. Yeah, here it is. Look at that big honking laser on the Mini 14 and a pump shotgun and like a Colt Python or something. Huge honking lasers, as big as like a C-cell mag light. Wow, come a long way in a short amount of time. Well, short amount of time to me. Let's see, SWAT tests, bugging the bad guys, electronic countermeasures, modern social shortcut, in-depth reports, the Browning P-35, the FN-FAL, chariots under fire, executive armored cars. This was pretty cool. This is a roll-down metal door to turn a closet into more or less a vault. You want to subscribe? Subscription. 6 issues, $14. 12 issues, $24. Seems like a bargain. There it is, the AR-7, Charter Arms AR-7. I had one of those. I don't know what I did to it. I think I gave it away as a gift to somebody, and but now, those of you who've seen my video, I've got a Henry, and the Henry is actually a lot better quality than that old Charter Arms one. So, worked out well. Survival schools, combat shotgun, practical pistols, shelters, primitive wiki-ups, subsurface domes. Adobe Fort, company that sells the Pioneer's Chest, basic long-term survival unit your grandchildren will still be using. Heavy-duty cooking gear, finest tools, select library, vital and priceless survival items for decades of rough use if civilization topples. Now remember, in these days you couldn't say, oh, you know, adobefort.com, let me check them out. You had to get interest. The ad had to generate your interest. You had to clip out the little coupon, fill it out, send it in. They would send you a catalog or price lists or whatever, and with only that information you'd have to make a decision about your purchase. Okay, here's an article on locks. Another one the cover did not survive. Mutt and Jeff, those are my survivor dogs. There it is. Oh, the pit bull. Check out the chick with the bandana on her head, looking very early 80s. The old pit bull. Ladies' choice for firearms, and they're advocating 322s there. Colt AR-15, that's the A1 model. Beating blackouts. Prospecting. Never really had much of an interest in prospecting, but I have some friends who are into it as a hobby, and they just love it. Wild foods. Looks like it's geared to the Southwest. Life in the shelter. Ooh, life in the shelter. There's the guy giving taking a little sponge bath down in his brick shelter, and he's got some house plants and a stuffed animal, and he's reading a magazine, and he's got a chemical toilet. Medic stuff. Survival Guide contest winner. Look at the suits on those guys. Awesome. And last but not least, SWAT tests, hot on the trail, the art of tracking, the game of survival, holding the winning hand, a hard look at hard armor, in-depth report on tactical body armor, which, as you can imagine, there's some big honkin' heavy stuff back in the early 80s. Come a long way on that. Nope. Yeah, that's what you need. Colonial sword canes. My grandfather always claimed that that if he needed a cane, he was going to get a sword cane. Luckily, he never needed a cane, because, geez, that guy walking around with a sword cane, I don't even want to imagine. Viking 45 auto. Another combat shotgun. Look at that. Okay. It's a C-cell mag light, sort of bolted onto the muzzle of a shotgun. We've come a long way, baby. Been there, done that. Ballistics of penetration. Hard look at hard armor. Okay, remember the date on this was December of '83, and of course they've got the guy standing there getting shot with it's like a Valmet, something, I don't know, like a 223, like a dummy. This was second chance body armor, and if you look at how far we've come, he looks like an armadillo wearing that stuff. I mean, totally ineffective for moving around. I mean, for a point man on a SWAT team, sure, yeah, but that's about it. Basic tracking, good info still. Vorpal knives, combat knives from Tom Maringer. He's got a big fixed blade knife in a shoulder rig. Then it goes into swords. Comparison of different body armors. Drowning under disaster medical conditions. 4 aces in the game of survival. Okay, you've got them covered, now what? The deadly tube and other single-shot weapons. I remember this ad. The new takedown blowgun. $9.97. And first shot confidence targets. We're not angels. Play on Charlie's Angels. And the Uzi, the best there is. So, anyway, it gives you a general rundown. What I dug out. Still a lot of good information in there. I mean, heck, we saw the Survivalist movement. Got a bad name. Great movie. I think it was called The Survivalist with Robin Williams. Just check out Robin Williams movies and you'll be able to track it down. Of course, it was a comedy. The fall of the Berlin Wall and the collapse of the Soviet Union sort of made the survivalist movement fade out a little bit. We saw kind of a rebirth with Y2K. And then I think the real key was Katrina that drove forward the new prepper movement. Of course, they had to change it to prepper from survivalist because survivalists had such a bad rap. Anyway, we've come a long way in some aspects, but the lessons, a lot of the lessons in here, a lot of the information is still quite good. Tracking, heck, land nav, first aid, they may improve with technology, you can dig out some good information from this. Anyway, I hope I haven't put you to sleep with this video. It was kind of interesting, though, to go through this stuff. Stay safe. Thanks for your time. Stay safe.